Hello guys, this is leathertoolz. Today I'm going to review new Chartermade signature series Japanese style Skiver. So, like I showed you guys in the previous unboxing video, it's really amazing knife that I've seen, and really looking into it and using it and just blows my mind and performance, everything. Uh, in this video I'm going to talk about a little bit about conventional Japanese knife and about the steel and about the performance of knife, because I showed you enough about the look of the knife. But just in case you missed it, I will show you close-ups. This is giraffe bone handle with the mosaic pin setup. So it is very rare handle type. He offers normally wood scale, but mine is a giraffe bone handle. It is amazing. It almost looks like a marble or porcelain. Really, it's just amazingly beautiful. But what's really good about this knife is the performance of the knife. The Chartermade. If you guys don't know about him yet, you're missing out very much. This is his contact info if you really want to buy this knife or ask him about the stuff. That's under the here at the bottom. It says website chartermade.com. This is his email for contact info. It has Instagram, and he also has a Facebook and YouTube channel as well. He's putting out a lot of good contents and everything. He is a true craftsmanship. He puts out on his work. Leather work and knives. It's just incredible that what he does for knife making is just beyond my expectation every time. It is. He's a truly a master of what he does. So I will try to explain you some of the details. What's so good about this knife, and what's the difference between traditional and this signature model. So in this year, this is the 10th anniversary of Chartermade. Official this knife making for leather tools and leathercraft for artisans. He has done many fantastic work, folding knives and kitchen knives as well. He also offers some hunting knives, but mainly he focuses at the moment for leathercraft tools. For celebrating for 10th year anniversary, he has developed this a new model he puts out. It's a signature series, so he has a full tank construction. Is a really lot of thoughts are put into this knife, and I would like to just show you very detailed. So maybe this video might be too long for you, but really bear in mind it's going to be really a detailed video if you really want to look into this knife, because it's not something that you can find everywhere online, or any other artisans can make this kind of work. I highly have a really huge respect for him, because what he does for his knife making in this leather tools community is just beyond my expectation. It just blows my mind every time I see his product. So let's stop talking. I will just talk about traditional Japanese knife first. So Japanese knives. So this is Japanese knife that I put Japanese lacquer on. So it has a brownish color. It has this flat bottom, but this is called something called uradashi. So it has a hollow surface in the middle, so you have a flat on the outside of perimeter, and you have a clad steel. You can see the steel difference. So at the very edge here, there's a line. This tells there are two different steels. So at the edge, this is white steel, and here it's a soft steel, so you can sharpen it easier. What's distinctive look of this knife is that this is just insert tang. It's a red tang construction. So it's just put it in a piece of wood. So it might come loose depending on the measure if you like, and you can remove it quite easily. If you push down too hard in either in direction or this direction, so what I mean is that if you push the blade too hard like this, it might bend, because at the neck part for this knife is very weak. So while you're using it, when you sharpen it, be careful not to bend it too much. For sharpening, it's easier because there's a very soft steel on top and a hard steel on the bottom. It's easier to sharpen. Yeah. And what's not good about this knife is though it has a dedicated hands. So this knife, this shape, exact shape like this. Yeah. So bevel on this side, and then the blade has a protrusion on the left side. This is for left-handed version. So if you are using your knife, so for example, I'll show you. So this is Japanese cutting mat. So this is the leather. So you need to grab your knife like this, yeah, because I'm left-handed. Yeah. So you need to cut it like this, and then boom. So you need to cut it like this. So it has kind of leverage. So if you are right-handed, of course, your protrusion should be, if you're holding your right-handed, then your protrusion should be up here. So not like this, but up here. You can still use it like this though, but because of the offset, it makes it quite awkward to use because you need leverage up here, not here. So that's the difference. I have talked plenty about Japanese leather knives, so I will not do it too long because this is about the review of Chartermade Signature Series. So this is Chartermade Signature Series now. So what's the difference for this knife is that it has a full tank construction. So it has a quite thick of steel here, but not too thick though. So because of doing this whole full tank construction, when you sharpen your blade, this will not go bend in either way. So it will stay straight up. It will stay straight no matter how you push down or push up. Doesn't matter. So it has solid construction. And what he really put into his work, especially, this is not just a full flat scale. It has a slight taper from the top towards the front of the end. So this bolster area is slightly thinner. This top area is slightly thicker. So it's sort of a kind of wedge effect. So imagine there's a wedge. So up here, thick, and then goes down. But it's very slight, subtle difference. You can barely see it. But you can feel it by just holding on to it. It just fits your hands like a glove. There's no groove to it, but it just fits your hands like a glove. And what's really good also is that he has rounded at each corner of this blade. This top part, the butt part of the blade, the knife, it has a very smooth touch. It doesn't feel sharp at all. So either your grabbing style is like this or like this, doesn't matter, which I find this position most comfortable. But even if you're grabbing like this or like this, just feels really great to touch. What I also really like about this knife is that he also didn't push, put it flat up here. This is an extra hard work, guys. If you have ever tried to make knives, let me show you my work. If you ever make knives with a piece of steel, so for example, this is my shoemaker's knife. This is half rounded, of course, and this is more of a rounded end, which makes it rounded. It's not a flat, but rounded. But see this is nice. This is such a minor detail, such an elegant difference that it almost looks like it's a flat, but it has a very slight curvature there. This slight curvature, it's really difficult to achieve unless you go a lot of trial and error. The way we see the knife, so elegant it is, just there are small details that you can't really notice with your eyes. If it's there, you just don't see it, but it just feels beautiful. That's why these small little details matters. So this kind of small little details he puts into his work, I find it very amazing, and I find he's a truly artisan. So slightly curved butt end like this just gives you comfortable grip, and also the look of it is amazing. And also look at this finish. This is, I think, what he calls it, candy floss finish. So he has this type of kind of candy floss finish. And also his logo, Chartermade, is there. On the back, he didn't put any curvature. There's no hollow back, but I much prefer this now because of the solid steel. This steel is N690, and if you have a solid steel like this, nowadays there are tons of great sharpening stones out there. You can sharpen it without any problem, even if you don't have this hollow back. Which is the only Japanese guys only make that hollow kind of back part because they forge this and they somehow always leave the tradition there onto their sides. But right now, current generation, you don't really need that with the current steel. So it has a complete flat. It's a flat ground. It's really highly precision flat. How he puts out his flat on his back. So this is what he gave out on for the back. It's really flat, and also the sharpening of the blade is amazingly sharp as well, because it comes razor sharp out of the box. So that's that. So it feels amazing. So it's like the wedge effect, and the feel of this porcelain just fits in your hand. It's just amazing, And the size though, it says very good size. Almost, let me see if it's almost the same size as tradition as Japanese knives. So sorry guys, I will show you in front of the camera. Oops. So yeah, like this. So if you see, back to back, it's almost exactly the same. Only I see a 2mm difference between these two knives. So is it better that I show you like this, maybe? Yeah. So it's like this. It's very, the length is the same. Yeah. So, and also the blade length is the same as well. So if you don't know how long that is, it is 17 centimeters, and the width of the blade is at the very top. It's a widest. It's a 30mm. So it's quite smaller blade, but I really like this because it's really feels great to use. So I'll show you again how it cuts. His sharpenings. I always sharpen my knives, everything, and I buy new. But then his knives, I don't need to even sharpen it because it's already too sharp. It's really I don't need to worry about sharpening anymore. So it's good. So I'll show you. Oops. So your piece of leather. This is a very famous French leather. It's a cow leather. It's about 3mm thick. It's a chrome tan leather. So it cuts really well. So it's really sharper than traditional Japanese knife that I use and sharpen it as well. So you can hear the sound difference. See that? So it is really sharp. You can just feel it. Just feels amazing. Just your leather almost just melts it away as you cut use your knife with. So it just feels amazing that this leather knife has been sharpened and he treated it so well that it's just so sharp. Just cuts and cuts. Look at this. I don't even really pushing hard. There's no effort here. So it is super sharp and stays sharp very long time. With this many cuts, it just keeps cutting out. Let me just finish this cut. So it is super sharp and just stays sharp really well. I've been just using it without any sharpening, even without any stropping, and just feels amazing that that this kind of sharpness can be achieved with the N690 steel. It's a really similar to high-end Japanese knife steel called BG10. It's amazing. This is a powder steel stainless steel. So it's a powder stainless steel. It's one of the new generation of making steel. It's how would I call it? It's non-traditional method of steel making. So they make the steel, they atomize it, they make it into very fine powders. Then they melt it again under high temperature and high pressure, so that the consistency, the composition of the steel becomes very highly homogeneous. So your steel gets a really fine grain. Also, your steels are much more high quality. Yeah, so powder stainless steel means very good. So VG10 is already good steel, but this is a better version of VG10. This is called N690. It's very similar, but it's the next generation of a steel manufacturing method. So let's talk about the steel at the last. So choosing N690 for this type of knife, I think it's a great choice. First of all, not everyone lives in a dry environment, or not everyone lives in places where you can get the super expensive, I mean, I'm talking about $200 or $400 sharpening stones for your super hard steels. You can go for really super high alloy, which is not really meant to become knives, but those are out there. But what's really unrealistic with those type of steels are they're extremely hard, and they're extremely difficult to sharpen. They are nearly impossible without proper tools. So you need to find your proper tools first. So you need to invest around 400 or 500 US dollar to sharpen that knife first. So, and second is your skill. So in order to sharpen those super high alloy steels, your hand sharpening skill needs to be top game. Otherwise, you're not really doing anything. So you need to be compromised between what's really good and what's really, almost too cheap. This is highly expensive, highly high-end steel. So N690 is such a great choice to make everyone able to sharpen their knives without any problem, and also maintains the high quality steel in your hands. So I think choosing N690 is a great choice. It allows people to sharpen their tools properly. You don't even need to go for super high-end stones, because his heat treatment makes knives easy to sharpen and keeps it very sharp edge for a very long time. So if you use this knife, you can sharpen it with your Japanese water stones, and if you have a ceramic stones, that's also good. So it's meant to be used. So there are a lot of marketing in the knife industry. I will talk about this steel thing that I will talk about in different video. But here, for example, let me criticize myself as well. This is just this piece of steel that I made for my sharpening, paring knife. This is D2 steel. And in order to make it very sharp like this, it takes ages, and it takes a lot of effort. It takes a really good stone to sharpen it like this. It takes a lot of effort to do this. So sharpening this knife, I'm really using my time. Taking my time away so much that really brings me the question that is the D2 this paring knife, is it worth it to use it and sharpen it like this every time I do this? I mean, it will keep being its sharpness for quite a long time, and I also need to put that extra effort again to sharpen it. So my idea is that, I always looked for such a high alloy, like K390 or Crewware or stuff like that. But then, it's unnecessary, because leather knives, former times, like I'm talking about 1800s, they were using carbon steels, and they were making beautiful products back then without any problem. They had their knives properly sharpened, properly heat treated, and then it was good to go. So you don't need to go for super high alloys to produce your leather knives. So his steel choices, again, it's just it's a great spot. It's a sweet spot there that he can use his know-how how to heat treat N690 to the best of its qualities, and so that it can really have the sharp edge and also easy to sharpen. So the way I feel that now, how people really see the product is that, oh, what kind of steel that is, or is it the super high alloy steel, you know? But then it's just it's just people have just tendency to really give it for the most hardest alloy, or the super expensive premium alloy steels for cold forging or hot forging, these molding steels. And it's unnecessary. It's an N690. It's a super good steel for leather knives. It's a super cool steel, and it's also usable, and it also workable, that you can sharpen it to your own standards, and at home you can sharpen it at workshops. It's a premium steel for professionals and also hobbyists, or the pro hobbyist like me, or just a normal hobbyist. Just willing to use, because it just keeps its sharpness very much. It's a great steel. It's amazing steel. So, like I said again, guys, this is a Chartermade signature series. This is Japanese style Skiver. You can contact here if you like, if you are interested into his knives. It's an amazing product. I highly recommend, guys. You can go and buy it directly from Chartermade. Just buy them while you can. His products are just amazing. I mean, it's really hard to beat. His craftsmanship is just speechless. I mean, look at this knife, guys. I mean, who can do this? You know, you can find similar copies online, but then it's nowhere matches his quality of details and so much of the hard work that he puts onto. I mean, this is a proper custom knife, guys. This is not just a good leather knife. This is a proper custom knife that can just feel it. You know, this is amazing. I like this knife so much. This will be my go-to knife for now. It's going to be used very much. You will see this in my future videos, because I like this so much. This will be my truly my own use, and I will never really let this go. No knife. I mean, I really like this knife, guys. This knife is amazing. So if you are looking for serious Japanese leather knives, Chartermade is a go-to the place. You know, this guy's makes a great stuff. I mean, I highly recommend it. There's there's no way of criticizing his work. I mean, it's absolutely perfect knife. I like this a lot, very much a lot. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will come back next video with other blades as well. So these two knives I'm also trying to review. It's also a set together with this knife. It's such a beautiful knife. I have a lot to talk about too as well. So, guys, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And I will see you guys next video. Bye bye.